have over 10 islands participating in the Carriacou Regatta Festival. As far down Trinidad to the south, Antigua to the north. We have Grenada, of course, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, Union Island, Mairo, Canawan, Bequia, St. Vincent. So the regatta is quite huge. The participation is quite varied from different islands throughout the region. And it's a plus for us where we have so many persons culminating in Carriacou for such a unique festival, which speaks good to Caribbean integration.
There is a Jamaican-born yachtsman by the name of J. Linton Rigg, who was very well known and very well connected. He made Carriacou his home, actually lived and died here. And so in 1965, looking at what was a natural for Carriacou, organized the boat racing, if you will, added a new word to our vocabulary, regatta. And so in 1965, this regatta idea was born. And in that 1965, he created such a spectacle that I think that was never repeated in Carriacou, in the sense that we had boats from all over. We had one race starting in Trinidad, going through Grenada, ending up in Carriacou. Another race starting in St. Vincent at the same time, ending up in Carriacou. And for the first regatta, as I remember, we had the presence of the British Navy, the American Navy, the French Navy, Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, Barbados Coast Guard. So it was really a spectacle.
The regatta encompasses several categories, starting from the model boats. In St. Vincent Grenadines, you call them gumboats, but here we call them model boats. So we had the gumboats coming back to Carriacou Regatta this year. Then the next class up from that is the small open boats, double enders. And then we had a new introduction to Carriacou Regatta again this year, the canoes from outer Grenada. Then we have what we call the stun boat. They're solely from Petit Martinique, so they came down as well. And we have a large open double end class. And then up from that we have what creates most of the excitement for windward, the vessels and sloops. Traditionally what we have on Sunday, you have two races. First race in the morning, second race in the afternoon. And on Monday you have one race midday sort of. So at least by that time the race is done, then you could do your prizes and checks for prize giving later in the evening. What stood out mainly was the large deck sloops, Glacier. This was a boat that was practically rebuilt this year, and around the island race, all three races, two races on Sunday and one race on Monday, Glacier took home the prize, and the victories were very convincing. So that was one of the boats that stood out, I think, throughout the entire weekend.
I'm enjoying myself in Carriacou for the regatta. Maybe at least I went out today and got the second by one back tack and thing, but hoping still for the second race to bring first. We have at least about 6 boats from Bequia that is racing and thing. Come to do our best and thing.
sailors are the ones that are going to be in these ones in a couple of years' time, you know. And in most countries, like most foreign countries, it's only privileged children that get to sail. And now, like, this is all these children. This is anybody here. You don't have to be privileged, you know. So, and I think also something that I've noticed about my kids here is that they've learned how to like listen and to apply what they've learned, and they know how to work as a team, and they also feel really special. And I think in Carriacou that's important. I mean, that's 7 kids out there now that are like no other children in Carriacou.
This is a very good thing for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, because one, it contributes to generating a lot of funds, because you have all the wayside vendors who are selling, you have a lot of our business places are contributing prizes and monetary and other prizes. The guys who are doing the racing putting out a lot to have good boats, good sales, making the entire thing a success. Yeah, I'm very happy to see the amount of people and the number of boats that are participating.
We have a boat building industry that is surrounded the festival. So it's important that we keep the festival alive in support of the boat building industry. As we see here today, we have record number of boats for the 2010 regatta compared to last year, which we had 40-something boats. This year we're in the 50s. So it's an improvement and it's a plus for Carriacou.
The regatta committee by itself can't sustain the regatta. This is something that we're going to accept, and sponsorship is key, and people investing in boats also is key, because in the years gone by, boat building was not just a tradition, it was like a livelihood. Now people do it mainly for sport. So for someone to get into racing, you probably need some financial support from someone. So we plead for support for these causes and actual for prize monies as well. So once we have that kind of support, the sustenance of the crafts that race are there, and then the prize money sustenance is also there.
To me, it's the most important festival. It's the biggest, economically speaking, it's the biggest, culturally speaking, and it brings to the state of Grenada, not just Carriacou, revenues that's probably only second to Grenada Carnival. Because for the last week, we get so many nationals returning home, and that's, to me, the real tourists. People that will come here to spend 2 weeks and better, bringing some money. It's not only to spend on themselves, but bringing some money for Tanti and Mami and all this kind of good stuff. So before you leave, they would have invested quite a bit of foreign exchange for the country. So that, to me, is the biggest thing that could happen to Carriacou. It's the biggest walkboat regatta in the region. I mean, there's yacht in Antigua, there's Grenada Sailing Festival. But when dealing with a walkboat festival, Carriacou is the biggest.
The Carriacou Regatta is unique, being it that is somewhat two-folded with actual boat racing, sailing and so forth, as well as nighttime fetes and fun on-shore activities. So that is the uniqueness of the Carriacou Regatta Festival, and that is why one should not miss the Carriacou Regatta Festival. Carriacou, a fun place, a safe place, nothing to worry about, a relaxing place, friendly people. Come on, enjoy the festival, unique You would not see a regatta in any other part of the world as the Carriacou Regatta. So the place to be, come every July, summertime, is Carriacou. So come on now.